Hey guys, welcome to Fantasy Tipped. First video of the 2024-2025 season for me, and I'm so glad to be back. If you're new to the channel and you're wondering who the hell is this guy, my name is Max, aka Mr. Clutch on fantasy hockey. My credentials are right here. 90% of my leagues are money leagues, 15 teams managed, 12 podiums, 5 first place finish, and a silver trophy for the inaugural Content Creators League last season. Enough about me, let's jump into the juice. Today we're looking at bounce back candidates for the upcoming season. First one up is Alex Killorn, lowest point per game total since 2018-2019. He's a two-way forward who should bounce back to the 50-60 point total bracket. He's a decent late round pick, although 111 is a little low for Alex Killorn. In Boston, we have Brad Marchand, who's had his worst season since 2016-2017, but he still managed 67 points. Even at 36, I don't see too many signs of aging yet, and I expect him to bounce back closer to a point per game pace with Pasternak and Pavel Zacha. He's currently ranked 34th and even drops to 40 plus in some league settings. I see him as a solid option for the 4th round. In Buffalo, we have Tage Thompson. Stole him mid-rounds 2 years ago and he exceeded expectations. But his ADP last year was crazy and people got hurt with it. One of the biggest letdowns in fantasy is due for a big bounce back this year. Do I see him get 50 goals and 90 plus points? No. Don't expect such a turnaround, but I think it's realistic to think he can hit 35 goals and above 70 points. He finished the year last year with 21 points in his last 18 games and should be closer to a top 50, top 60 pick. In Calgary, of course, we have Jonathan Huberdeau. Miserable season, 12 goals, 40 assists, 52 points. But only 2 years ago, he had achieved 115 points. At 31, ranked 208, I think he's the definition of a bounce back candidate. It's a gamble, but the reward is extremely high. As for Kuzmenko, his partner, he became a new man since being traded to Calgary and finished with 14 goals, 25 points in 29 games in a Flames uniform. His ADP is still very low at 73 though, so beware. In Carolina, we have Martin Necas, who is a born winner. Won back-to-back titles in Czechia before coming to North America. Then he won a Calder Cup trophy with the Checkers before joining the Hurricanes full-time. Last year, he finished with 53 points, which is 18 less than the year before. I see Necas finally getting to a point-per-game pace or close. Here's another pointer for the Hurricanes, by the way, Andrei Svechnikov. He's not a bounce-back candidate, more of a breakout to superstardom year for him, in my opinion. I think he might be the best mid-risk, high-reward outside of the top 50. He went a point per game in the playoffs, and I see him rolling that streak. He's also a great source of shots, hits, and residual peripherals. Everybody in Colorado, apart from Ryan Johansson, was great. Therefore, it's easy to name Georgiev as the bounce-back candidate. He can't be as bad as last year with the team in front of him, right? Even if he struggles with GAA and save percentage, the wins will be there and he'll eclipse 38 wins for a 3rd straight season. Now in Columbus, we have Johnny Gaudreau. Only if your league does not count plus minus, since he's minus 60 over the last 2 seasons. This is a high risk, high reward, but as a late round pick, I don't mind him. But don't gamble on Gaudreau too early on. We also have Jeff Skinner, who's for the first time of his career will taste playoff hockey at the end of the year. He will also have a chance to play with the best player in the world or Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. The former Calder Trophy winner should see above 60-something points, if not more, which would be a massive upgrade from his 46-point season last year. And it wouldn't be a surprise to me that he ends in the top 100 by season's end. Stanley Cup champion at 22-year-old Anton Lundell underwhelmed during the regular season but exploded in the playoffs with 17 points in 24 games. This guy finished 10th in the league above guys like Sam Reinhart, Jason Robertson, and Evan Rodriguez, and he is still ranked 288. Keep a close eye on him early in the season on the waiver wire if you don't draft him in the last round. He also has dual eligibility positions. Our first goalie is Philip Gustafsson. He has no choice but to bounce back, or else he'll get traded rather quickly and replaced by Jesper Wallstedt. Bad season last year, but he did finish with a 7-win, 5-loss, 2 OTL, and a 906 in his last 14 start. He should be closer to that this year. I feel like he's a great third goalie to have going into this year in fantasy. In Montreal, we have Kirby Dach. Listen, I'm not big on injury-prone players, but who else is excited to see what he can do with Caulfield, Slavkovsky, Suzuki, and even Lane Hudson on the power play? His ADP is at 258. It's way too high, and if he remains healthy for 3/4 of the season, he should at least be a top 175 or better player. We all have our second goalie, Ilya Sorokin. Not sure if it's a hot take among fans and fantasy managers, but I still believe Ilya Sorokin is a top 4 goaltender in the NHL, if not better. He can carry the Islanders by himself to the playoffs. Expect a season closer to his 2021 to 2023 number, despite New York not being a heavy favorite. One of my favorite bounce-back candidates is Timo Meier. He sank me for most of the first half last year, totaling 22 points in the first 43 games, but he finished with 18 goals and 30 points in the second half. After undergoing surgery, he'll be back with a chip on his shoulder and will play with a healthy Devils roster including Jack Hughes and Nico Hischier. He could very well be back above 40 goals, and he gives out a lot of hits. I love me Timo Meier once again for this year. In Ottawa, high risk, high reward, we have Josh Norris, who's missed 122 games in the last 3 years, but is a hell of a player when he's healthy. One of the best shooting centers in the entire league, ranked outside the top 500. In a top 6 spot, it's pretty unbelievable to me. Don't be shy to fish for Norris in the latter rounds. I know I will in all leagues. In Pittsburgh, we have Rickard Rakell, who I think will bounce back alongside Crosby or Malkin. His shooting percentage was atrocious last year at 9.1%. It should go up. The Pens didn't move that much in the offseason, so he'll have his chance to produce with top players. Expect an above 50-point season for him. The sophomore slump is over for Matty Beniers. Expect Beniers to bounce back and become the player he's bound to be. I see him achieve 55 to 65 points and be a lot better in all departments. Tampa was solid for the most part last year. Vasilevsky is the best goalie on the planet when locked in, and I expect him to have a big chip on his shoulder this year, especially now that Stamkos is gone. He's definitely somebody I'm targeting from late round 3 to round 5, depending how drafts go. I think not having the C in Toronto will give John Tavares wings this year. I expect him to eclipse the 75-point mark, if healthy, and possibly above a point per game, with a new coach and all the talent surrounding him. He could become a very good round 4, round 5 player, which is way before his ADP right now. Mikhail Sergachev is an easy pick for the hockey club. Phenomenal multi-category contributor and definitely someone I'm targeting around his ADP. He had a freak injury last year and only had 19 points in 34 games, but he broke out the year before with 64 points in 79 games. The best part, no Victor Hedman ahead of the depth chart, so Sergei will most likely lead the power play and probably play insane minutes for Utah. I recommend Sergachev heavily. Now for Vancouver, Philip Hronek. But Max, why are you ranking Hronek in a bounce back video when he just had the best season of his career? 5 goals, 43 assists, 48 points, plus 33 in 81 games. He finished 21st in the league among defensemen for points and 12th at 5-on-5. Him and Hughes were the best pairing analytically league-wide. Well, the answer is simple. He started the year with 36 points in 42 games and finished with 12 points in the last 39 games, including a 3 assist in 20-game sequence, which also contained a 10-game pointless streak. So, which Hronek are we going to get? High risk, high reward depending where you get him. But if you want to fish him around the 125 spot, I don't think it's too bad, and it's probably a good gamble. In Vegas, we have Alex Pietrangelo, who's ranked 210. This guy's a champion and should bounce back from a 33-point season. I expect 42 to 50 points this year on a healthy Vegas squad. And if this guy is your third or fourth defenseman, you're probably cruising to the playoffs. The last 3 times Ovi got less than 40 goals, the 12-13 short season, 16-17 season, and 2021 season, he bounced back the following year with 51, 49, and 50 goals. This could be a sign of what's to come as he's chasing Gretzky's record. It doesn't matter that he's nearing 40. All-time greats have their ways. He's still a solid late round 2 pick, round 3 pick, especially if goals are important in your league. So much hatred about Dubois all around, but I think he's a sleeper this year. Not only will he bounce back on the score sheet, but he'll get physically active. Playing with Ovechkin might spark something in him. Remember, this guy is only 26 years old. He hasn't hit his peak yet. Yes, there's the lazy allegations, but he has all the tools in the world to finally break out into an A-tier kind of player. Between 160 and 180 is a great place to gamble on Pierre-Luc Dubois, in my opinion. And I have a few bonus players, one for deeper leagues. Sean Couturier, great for face-off leagues. Don't expect more than 50 points and a lot of peripherals apart from face-offs. Another one is Taylor Hall, who's probably back in my ranking. A lot of people are counting him out because he's injury prone, but he's a former Hart Trophy winner who's going to be playing alongside Connor Bedard. Bedard will probably reach 90 points this year. So all in all, a great late round pick in Taylor Hall, full of upside. Count me in. And finally, Patrik Laine. 6 goals, 3 assists, 9 points in 18 games. So excited to have him join my Montreal Canadiens. For the record, I've never drafted a Canadiens player ever before this year. This might change with a Patrik Laine who said he wants to become a 40-50 goal scorer and not a 30 goal scorer. He's a very good value pick in the middle to late rounds who can explode at any time. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helps you out in your preparation for the upcoming season. Don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel if you appreciate the video, and I will catch you guys very soon for more advice.